We are rocking now. All right, here we go. We're going to attempt a live cross here, Tone, because Judith, as we know, is in Montreal for the Montreal Comedy Festival.
That's right.
And in fact, last night Judith hosted the gala, and in the past, I believe, the gala has been hosted by people like Jerry Springer.
Really?
Luke Perry, yes. But the one Judith hosted last night, I believe, was hosted by Rob Lowe, but at this stage it's mere speculation. Why don't we ask her? Judith, are you there?
Gonna be your man in motion. All I need is a pair of wings. Take me where the eagle flies higher and higher. What can I say? Rob Lowe and I kind of hit it off.
I hope you got the whole thing on video, Jude.
You betcha. Listen, in all honesty, can I tell you that I didn't get anywhere near Rob Lowe last night. He did host the gala, but I'm not making this up. Luke Perry, who hosted one of the other galas, came up to me after the show, shook my hand and said, "You really remind me of my wife."
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry.
Wow.
Can I just say to you, can I ask you guys the question, is there anything that I wouldn't do for the sake of a gag?
Dude, you're frontline troops and you're an absolute trooper. Hey, how's the festival been going anyway?
Oh, look, it's been going fine, but just before I get to that, I just have to tell you that because in terms of doing gags, it was a toss-up between looking like this and look, I know I'm looking good because the makeup woman just walked in and said that a person who saw me in the corridor turned to her and said, "I think a homeless woman has gotten into the building." It was a toss-up between looking like this and popping on a little something that I picked up in a souvenir store the other day. And I'm hoping that that is getting some kind of laugh because it cost me $100.
Dude, I don't think you spent the night with Rob Lowe. I think you spent the night with Chiefy from the Village People.
I'm feeling a little F-troop. But I've got to tell you, it cost me $100 because the woman said to me, "No, it's authentic." And I have to tell you that I don't know if Indians actually used elastic and felt. I mean, I know they were into Velcro. But look, I will get onto the festival because I've got to tell you, the audiences are a little different over here. I did a gig the other night where the compere was talking to the audience, and listen, I've done enough talking to the audience at gigs, you know, to know that Australians enjoy it so much that, you know, they'd rather have lava in their underpants. But a woman has stood up and has produced these photographs of herself before she'd lost all this weight. Like, so she had these photographs on her where she's looking like a small shopping centre. And, you know, so she's a walking Jenny Craig commercial. And I am just sitting there thinking, I don't think an Australian would carry photographs around with them, you know, even if the before-after scenario involved their head growing back. I've made the mistake of going up to the compere afterwards and saying, "Hey, what about that woman with the photograph?" And she's gone, "I know, she lost 100 pounds. I mean, it's good for her, good for her." And I'm just sitting there thinking, I am so not in my own country. But the city's gone comedy mad.
Is it? What's Montreal like? What is it like as a city?
Well, it's kind of weird because there's not that much to see, but they have been pulling the comedy stops out because they've actually popped red dye in some of the fountains. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more hilarious than a fountain that looks like a burst artery. Tell you what, it takes me back to the time a friend of mine tried to take their own life. But tell you what I am happy with.
What's that?
I'm very happy with the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, what's the story?
Well, of course, I'm not that happy about the fact that the box is the size of a Tampax packet. But I am happy with the warnings because, listen to this. La cigarette cause des maladies pulmonaires mortelles. You see, that just sounds lovely, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like cigarettes cause fatal lung disease. It sounds like a Maurice Chevalier song. But, oh no, I've lost my ear thing.
That's all right, I'm losing mine at this end too, Jude. Just send your messages via semaphore. Are you there, Jude?
I am, I'm back.
This is great. I've been waiting for this to go off the rails. I was after a bit of, are you there, Jude?
Yes,
Are you there, Jude? Are you there, Jude?
Live telly, it's great, isn't it?
That's fantastic. So what do we need to know about the city?
I tell you what you need to know about the city because, well, they really do speak French. I'll tell you that much for free. And I have cockily turned to my manager, Kev, on the way here, and I've gone, don't worry about it, Kev. I won the French prize in high school. Now, I was also very good at physics when I was in high school, and if you ask me now, you know, why does sound travel further at night, I'd probably go, cause. So I had my big moment when, because we haven't been letting housekeeping into the flat because, you know, we love living in our own filth.
Sure.
So I walked into our flat the other day and a woman had come in and she just started cleaning up. So I said to her, listen, don't worry about it. Well, actually, I probably would have said, because I get so Aussie when I'm out of Australia, I probably would have said, piss off, you old Sheila, and burst into K-San. But she's turned to me and she's gone, listen, I don't speak English. And I thought, well, that doesn't exactly sound like Mandarin. I thought to myself, no problem. I had then stood there for 5 minutes and finally I wound up dealing with the situation by going... So, you know, basically I studied French for 5 years and I can play a really mean game of charades. But I have to tell you, in terms of sort of sightseeing and stuff, we got into a taxi the other day, and first, how can I say, the taxi driver said to us that the state of Quebec was actually bigger than Australia. And we just said, really? Because, you know, it gets to the point where you just think it's so much easier to agree. He probably could have said, hey, I hear your Prime Minister's a wombat. And I would have gone, yeah, his policies are pretty weird, but boy, can that guy burrow. And he's turned to us and he's gone, but have you seen the most spectacular tourist attraction in Montreal? Sorry, I've got no idea what that accent is. And he's talking like it's the city of Atlantis. And no, he's actually referring to an IMAX cinema. And, you know, I really didn't have the heart to tell him that, A, we have IMAX cinemas in Australia, and B, yeah, I've come halfway around the world to see what is essentially a big telly. But then I went to the Tourist Information Centre and I realised that it probably was a bit of a highlight, because the only other alternative seems to be a tour of the biosphere. And boy, this sounds worth a trip because, oh, look, I'm looking at the French side. It's like that Steve Martin routine. Those French have a different word for everything. But this is, these are some of the attractions of the biosphere. I'll tell you what, I must have a really roomy ear. This is what you can see at the biosphere. An anti-shark protection cage. My God, are those metal bars real? And are they in the shape of a square? A team of experienced interpretive guides. So I guess they've been around for a while and they're into modern dance. And my favourite attraction, it honestly says, water. Here, there, and everywhere.
There's a bombshell.
Flushing the toilet's never been so much fun.
Well, that's fantastic, Jude. You really are. You're a roving reporter. You've done a treat of a job. Are you going to be back here next week live?
You bet. My buns are back on that couch.
All right, we're saving you a spot.
Judith,
Bob?
it's Bob Franklin, Channel 9.
Dave O'Neill, 31.
What the hell are you doing there, Dave?
I'm pretending to be you.
I hope you've got a wig and a skirt on.
No, but I've got breasts.
Judith, I've heard that they have policemen over there who ride around on horses. Is that right?
No, it's not true.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Well, you thank Jude for joining us live from Montreal. She's a great sport.
Au revoir.
Thank you, Jude.